about it. Hi all, I'm Cullen and welcome to Law Live. I was expecting a little intro that was going to be played. Looks like the intro hasn't played, but that's okay. We roll with the punches and we get on with it. Welcome to Live with Cullen. Are we back? We're back. It looks like we're back. Welcome back to Live with Cullen Haynes, episode 39. Now, despite the technical difficulties, I have just the person you want to hear from today. 25 years doing marketing for small to medium to the top tier of town. You know, name dropping news.com, I'm pretty sure, is one of his clients, and some heavy hitters. As a good friend of mine, I've been knowing this man for almost 10 years. And when we started our company, he also started Melotti Content Media. And you can also get him directly through Chris Melotti Consulting. So can you please make very welcome the one, the only, Mr. Christopher Melotti, who's going to be talking all things brand, buzz, and breakthroughs.
Hi, Cullen. What an intro. That was a lot.
Mate, I wish it was a better intro for you, mon ami. There was all these things, but nonetheless, mate, I think because of the amount of people wanting to get in, we had a breakdown on the tech.
I love it. No, this is look. You know what? It made a great entrance. I'm happy.
Very good, mon ami. Very good. Well, anyone tuning in, I will say this is live. This is 12:23 Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Please put your questions, queries, comments in the chat box. We will drop it live. Thank you for joining. If you're watching live or if you're re-listening on the socials or the podcast, thank you as well. And be sure to give us a cheeky like and subscribe to both myself and Chris Melotti's channels as well. But what is happening in your world right now, my friend? And how would you sum up what you do in a nutshell for anyone who doesn't know?
Hi, Cullen. So thank you for having me here. And hi to everyone there. Look, so as Cullen has well introduced, my name is Chris. I'm a marketing communication strategist, and I help brands articulate their customer relevant value. And we do this in 3 steps which is one is the strategy and development. The second is the brand communications and identity foundations. And the third is marketing tactical executions. I absolutely love what I do, and it's an honor to be here. I love chatting. So hit me. What do you got, Cullen?
Right, we got lots of questions. There's lots of people flooding in. Put your questions in, guys. So if you're looking to grow your business, if you're looking to get your name out there, you need to talk to Chris, because I always say this every podcast, especially this one. We've all been to the barbecue where Bob comes up and says, "Oh, I've just got X business," and it's your business. And you're like, "Oh, Bob, why didn't you come and speak to me?" We've all had that moment. You need to get out there and make your brand known. And this is what this man talks about. So you built your own consultancy and worked across many high impact marketing campaigns. What drew you into the world of brand strategy, content, and now AI integration?
Yeah. Oh, look, it's been a great journey. Look, for me, I'm an innovative, savant. Like I've always loved marketing. I studied marketing in school and university, and I've been a marketing manager of all different kinds of organizations. And then when I went out on my own, marketing strategy is what I love. But I think the word has been polluted today.
Yes.
Like, I think the strategy is this whole whereas for me, like, I do this every single day, and everyone comes back with the same feedback, which is, "Oh my God, I wish someone would break it down that easily for me." And that's what I try and do today is I try and make marketing accessible and action orientated and actually caring.
Yes.
And so that's what I do every day. Like yesterday, literally an accountant, right? They came to me and they said, "We've had so many different marketing people come. Like, what do we do?"
Oh my God.
And I said, "Talk me through your sales funnel." And we just injected marketing tactics into each one of those bottlenecks. And they were like, "Oh my God, like, it's practical marketing. I don't know why no one does this anymore. It's so convoluted or generic today that I just want to get into the nitty gritty and make things actually roll and work." So
little things, right? Little things in the process that just keep it going along. And, case in point, please follow Chris. He's on all the socials. He's prolific. He's got over 15,000 LinkedIn followers, which is huge. So if you're not subscribed to his stuff, please do, because he doesn't just do business content, marketing content. He also shares his personal life, which at the end of the day, we've talked about this, business is personal. They don't buy the business, they buy the people behind it, right?
Amen. And this is the thing. That's why a lot of stuff that I do now is personal branding. That has become huge for executives. And it's not about becoming like an Instagram TikToker or an influencer.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I love following those sort of people.
Love that stuff. Yeah.
It's the senior executives and things that have gone, my marketing person has told me I need to have a profile. I don't want to be selling products or tanning mitts. And I'm like, that's not like personal branding is about emphasizing your key opinion leadership and being recognized for the contributions that you make that often go silent. And there's so many different things out there that people should be known for. And it's not celebrity for celebrity's sake. It's like you're making contributions every day that you take for granted that people would love to know and don't have the opportunity to see. And it's another opportunity. They need to get out there a bit more and be encouraged. And it's all for good. Like, people want to share great ideas and they just don't know how to.
Document, don't create. Like, you're already talking to great clients. You're already having a great life outside of work. All you need to do is just be brave enough to do, hey, story time. Spoke to a client today, won't tell you their name, but this is the question they had. And it's like kindergarten. 5 other people will have that same question and go, oh, God, I got to get in touch with Chris because that's what we're going through. And a little bit of a fun question that delves right into that. If you had to explain your role using just film titles, what movies would you pick and why, my friend?
God, I would say, just film titles.
Just film titles. Come on. Oh, you can use a book title if you're for all the bookworms and bibliophiles out there. But movie title.
What would it be? Because I would say and it's one of those situations where you never have it ready. I would say, what's like I'm all about like climbing the ambitious, real achievements.
Vertical Limit. Movie. Vertical Limit. The old one with Chris O'Donnell. If you're old enough to know who that man is.
Yes, he was Robin. Right. So I would say like that kind of thing. I would say like the Mission Impossible. And the reason why I would say that. The reason why is because at first it does seem impossible, but then they find the solutions, and through all the twists and turns, they get clarity at the end. And that's what I feel like people often look at marketing like. They go, it's this black box of obscurity. Yes. And it does make sense when you make it practical and business aligned. It's just that people don't get through that, and it all seems too hard at first.
No, indeed. And you yourself have gone through this, and you've worn many hats: consultant, educator, business owner, AI ethicist. I only just learned about that term today. How have these different roles and the many hats you worn shaped the way you approach marketing and client engagement?
Yeah, great question.
Please, we come out with great questions every day.
Yeah, right. Look, you know what it is I have seen the complexity and the frustrations that people get with the sales process, with the marketing, and just business, right? And one of the things my team keep looking at is they go, Chris, when you work with clients, you're looking at their like revenue generating potential. Like, you kind of go beyond marketing, but it's and it's not intent. I don't sit there and go, oh, look, let's do it. It's not intentional. It's more like it happens because today, this is the insight. Marketing is no longer a department in your business. Marketing is not this pretty picture designer that sits there and you ask them for certain things every so often. Marketing is business, right? And it's evolved into this today because if you think about it, your website can't say we are friendly people and then the person that's answering the phone calls is abrasive. Right? You can't say we care about our company and we care about the people who work in it and treat your staff badly, right? Reputation and positioning is literally your entire business's lifeblood today. And if you look at the brands that are out there, some of the fallouts that have happened is when the person or someone in there has damaged the reputation or the expectation is not set. So today you cannot sit there, especially with AI tools and research tools and all that, you cannot sit there and say, we do this in this particular way and we live and breathe sustainability or whatever you stand for with your ethos. But if there's no substance there, you've lost everything.
Correct.
And being genuine and authentic and omni-channel and consistent is just the part of business today.
It's so true. And, it shouldn't be like fake it till you make it. AI is here to take over and everything like that. It should be used as a tool. Like I use AI every single day. Every post I do, it's got my voice now. It knows my tone of voice. I can do things in like 5 to 10 minutes that used to take me an hour to prep for a post and everything on LinkedIn and whatnot. So I highly recommend that people get into it. So look, and I want to switch gears a little bit. And obviously my professional audience, I've got, over 25,000 either lawyers or accountants and finance professionals watching. So how do you help those kind of professionals? You've done a lot of CPD and training for that side of things. How do you help professionals grow and stay sharp in such a fast moving space?
Yeah. And look, I studied commercial law myself. And I work with lawyers, finance, all those kind of industries a lot. And it is not, it's the way I work is very bespoke. See, lawyers, finance, all those amazing professional services, buyers agencies, all those kind of things. What they need is a little bit more guidance that feels authentic and step-based, right? And what I mean by that is when they get pitched to, which happens all the time, right?
Oh, they get the pitch slap. Boom. All
the time.
Here you go, big block of text. Let's go.
Right? And that's the thing is and I get it. I would be frustrated too, because as a lawyer running a busy practice or as a finance specialist, accountant, whatever you do in that space, you probably, you're getting attacked all the time, right? Oh, you need to be this, you need to be that, right? Whereas when people approach me or I get a referral or I speak to an accountant, financial advisor, whatever it is, right? Literally what I do is I say, let's have a chat, right? And this is, it's not even, I get outraged because I'm like, why doesn't this happen more often? I chat and I talk to them about what is important to them, right? And I say, where are you? What do you do? What do you live for? Like, because these firms often have such great ambitions and such great authentic stories that no other agency is asked about or cared about. They've gone, no, we'll slap a few colors on and right. And so I sit down and I've worked with criminal lawyers and all this, and I sit down, same thing. I go, what do you want? And they'll say, I want to create an education module, or I want to do that. Right. And so what we do is we put a practical plan together to achieve those goals with a revenue-based mindset. And literally out of the phone call, they go, this is like the best 20 minutes, 30 minutes that I've ever had, because I break down what they're doing, what they want to do, what they want to get to, give them lots of ideas. And then that's when they start from there. They go, all right, then I just go step by step. So I don't overwhelm them with this 12-month, like a subscription that they need to sign up for or anything like that. It's just like, let's chip away. Like I just did this with an IT organization. An IT organization said, Chris, we've been around for 45 years. We've lost our identity. Our team is fighting, right? We don't know who we are, what we want to stand for. I went down, had a chat with them, build this strategy together with them so they had buy-in, built all these communication platforms. And suddenly now there's like, we've done tenders and things that they're winning and all this sort of stuff. And it's based on what they wanted and what they needed direction on. So it's really important.
I love that. I love that. Absolutely. And you've had so many, you got so much experience, so much of a varied background. What is one surprising or underrated skill that has helped Chris Melotti thrive in high pressure competitive marketing environments that you're able to share with us?
I have two. Or is that cheeky?
That's all right.
Yeah, it's like, I would say two. One is being able to be passionate and enthusiastic about what you do. Right. And that comes across as the best selling technique, bar none. Right. And what I mean by that is I don't see it as selling at all. If I just care about their brand more than they do, people go, wow, he really does care. And I train my team on how to do that. But that comes from authenticity. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, and I cannot emphasize this enough to everyone watching, critical thinking. Critical thinking in the world of AI is going to be the most precious commodity. And what I mean by that is, I was teaching an AI class yesterday, and I was showing them practical examples of using AI to build things and create things and all of that. But I was showing them how I myself was getting it to check its own work and build its own profiles and triple check and make sure that I give it direction. Unfortunately, critical thinking skills are going to be under threat simply because people are going to get lazy and use AI to do everything for them. And people are getting under the assumption that it's all smarter than they are. And critical thinking is going to be, honestly, that precious skill that you must maintain. And what I mean by that is innovative thinking, looking at analysis, making decisions based on your overview of everything, and being able to go, like I've done this before, where I go, AI is presented this, but I think it's missed this. Let's try and do this in two separate ways. AI couldn't think of that. I did it, and then AI helped me put it together. You see what I mean? That critical thinking is key.
That's so, and marketing can be relentless, right? How do you manage the emotional and mental load of running a business and delivering results for your clients? Because it can't be all work and all play makes Chris a dull boy, right? What are you doing to look after that?
I have been a dumb boy. You know what?
No.
Two things, right? I have a great team, right, headed by my sister Angela, who's my general manager, and she came on board a couple of years ago, and it's been the best thing for my business because basically I'm the creative thinker and she's the implementer. So that, and then training a team, and really is team, right? Like getting them to make sure that they are happy to do their job, proud of what they do, well supported, and that they're empowered. Because if you can't rely on them, you're doing it wrong, right? And what I would say is then take up hobbies and things. Like I do a lot of stage and sort of things that give me an outlet other than my business, just so I don't burn out. Which is so important.
Do you walk the boards, mon ami? Do you like to get on the theater and the actor? I had a feeling you would, mon ami. You and Michael Lawrence, one of my barrister friends in Queensland, would do very well to get together, let me tell you. And Darren Mort in Melbourne, who's a legend too.
Yep, and I love it.
You've got to have those outlets.
Yep. Because especially if you're a big creative person, there's and marketing can be very, like you said it yourself, Cullen, is very all-consuming, right? So what can happen is your creative outlet is needed for marketing. So you're putting all of it in there, but what it does is you're in that space so much that you need to have something else that you can rely on, and doing those little things like learning instruments and it doesn't have to be for listeners and watchers. It could be anything, learning a language or painting, whatever it is, but having that extra human outlet where there's no compromise can really help you disconnect, get a bit more fulfilled, holistic life. Those kind of things really do help.
Absolutely. And if I may, like there is a common misconception about brand messaging and marketing strategy that we've touched on. What is one misconception you'd like to bust right now as we enter the halfway point of this stream, my friend?
Yep. Brand messaging takes more than what AI can give you. And I'll give you a real example, right? I had a client come to me and they said, Chris, I've got my brand messaging. I've used AI to put it all together. Can I purchase one of your hours of consulting to go through it? And I said, yeah, absolutely. And at first, this is the thing, it looked impressive, right? It had all this really cool language. But when we started to delve, we realized it doesn't understand. And unfortunately, this is the trap as well. He knows himself and his brand, but doesn't know marketing communication strategy. So what happened was it sounded compliant with what he was doing. But I said to him, look at all this content that you've given me, which tells me why I should buy you, why I should hire you. What's the so what factor? It didn't have any of that in there. So at first he was like, look how cool and impressive this is. But as we were going through it, I was like, none of this tells me why you're different. If this was on your website, I would literally open many tabs and decide, I couldn't decide who, because you're not any different. You just sound mysterious, right? So this is the myth I want to bust is don't forget, again, it's not, I love AI. I use AI every day. It's just, don't think that the AI, it's done. With messaging, you need to be able to orientate it around your customer, be customer obsessed, right? And think, what's going to get me chosen, right? Don't talk about me. Someone said to me recently, don't sound like an opera singer. Me, right? Make sure that you speak about them, how you're going to help them, what you do helps them, right? That's the difference.
No, that's a good point you make, and you don't want to make it all about me. And if you are tuning in and you want to get results for your business, make your sell shine, please tune in, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to this great man, Chris. We are well over halfway through the stream today, proudly brought to you by Accounting Home Loans and Legal Home Loans. And be sure, if you get a cheeky moment, to check out the laws of LinkedIn as well. Are there any exciting projects? Oh, thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate your review and your insights, my friend. You and the leading people that follow you are the reason I wrote that book, because you know what? We knew no one when we started our business. We had no contacts, no money. So it's like we had to make our name known, and LinkedIn was free and still is. So we thought, we're going to use that. So definitely dive into that. But 8 years ago, almost 8 years ago now.
Yeah.
Similar to your good self. Literally, we started at the same time. But like, bringing it back to yourself, mate, are there any exciting projects, innovations, or AI initiatives that you're exploring right now at Melotti Content Media that you can share?
So a lot of one thing that's come up recently, so we do our brand messaging and strategy and all of that. For me, I'm a big user of innovative AI. So there's two things that I'm doing on in this space right now. One, I said, is the ethics. So what I'm doing is I'm doing ethic policy development and consulting for clients and governments.
Yes.
So what I do is I work with businesses and governments to be able to implement AI by considering all the angles and the guardrails and sort of things. I really enjoy that work. Then the other work that I'm doing, it literally came up last week, was there was a company came to me and said, we need to do research. We need to do research on customers and what the trends are, etc. What I did was I actually then investigated it, and I said, look, the option is I can interview your clients and customers, which they said that's one part, but they said we want to go outside of that. And I said, okay, so I'm investigating a lot of AI research modules, and I'm putting reports together based on what they're finding. Now, it really takes human and AI, right? Because AI can do that initial research, and then I have to compile the reports and put the research together. But that's a really exciting thing, because it's now allowing us now to use AI to test, and it's like market listening and social listening. And so we're investigating this whole new area of research in AI, as in researching what the market's doing and all of that. It's such an exciting area because it really completes our circle. Because if we build the strategy and messaging and executions, now we can do social listening in the market to see what the trends are, what's resonating and what's not, to make active improvements. So that's what I'm excited for.
I love that. And where do you see it going? AI content and brand strategy in the next 5 to 10 years. What's your opinion?
To be honest, I actually think that it's going to change in like 8 different ways. But I think what's happening is, right, if you think about the bell curve, and there's the average in the middle, most people's content was spread across all of it, right? So because there would be average content, below average content, really high content. With AI, I feel like people are moving out of the low end, the bottom side, and moving there. But unfortunately, what's happening is that average point is where everyone's sitting. Right. So if you look at everyone's website right now, everyone's using AI. It all sounds the same. The word unlock, right? The word fluff, the word precise and precision. That is everywhere right now, right? And it's
even on their posts. LinkedIn is full of personal posts, and you can tell because there's M dashes everywhere, and everyone is using AI to create even their own. Thank you, I'm humbled to win this award. It is written with AI kind of thing.
Yeah. And there's not, again, I'm not trying to attack AI here. It's great, but you've got to remember.
We're not attacking anyone.
No, but it has to be authentic. For instance, I've seen posts from LinkedIn of people saying, here's the 5 insights I found from my first 5 years of business, being in business only 2 years. Right. So this is what we're seeing here. And that damages your brand. Right. And this is a real story. This damages your brand. Right. Or worse is they're posting stuff and then they're denying that it's AI. So what's happening? Like, I'm getting messages from people, like written messages, going, "Hi, Chris, how are you?" And I know the person. I'm like, "Oh, it's been a while. How are you?" And having a conversation and realizing about 2 messages in, that's not them. right? And it's not even an
No,
assistant, it's
you
an
can tell
avatar.
because there's this distance, you know?
Yeah. And then so what I did was I did a voice message back, and it lost its mind because it was like, oh, I
Yeah.
don't know what to do now. I don't know how to respond because it couldn't read my voice message. So it's being authentic and making sure. But what's going to change is that there's going to be that average bell curve that AI can't get out of, and it's feeding on average and it's feeding on AI stuff. So what's going to happen is the people that really invest in great content are going to shine brighter because everyone's around that average. There's less low stuff, but there's going to be a lot of average stuff, but not a lot of high stuff. That takes a lot of effort and work, and that's where the marketing opportunity is.
Good opportunity that's coming there if we still got you there, Chris. And look, if you can share it, you can be as candid as you want. What's the most unusual or memorable client request you've ever had in your 25-year career in marketing?
It would probably be how truthful can I be? It would
You can
be
be as truthful as you want, mon ami.
marketing for what was a brothel in Sydney, which we didn't do. And the reason why they came to us is because they said Google is blocking our ads because you're not allowed to use ads in this space. So can we create content around cheating and like what it's like and how to get around? I'm not even joking. This was a while ago, like 2017, 16, 17. And it was such an interesting space. I was like, what is going on there? And it was it was a real business, legitimate, and it wasn't like that offended me. I just thought, oh, look, this is too tricky. I don't believe in it. It's, but that was definitely a proposal put forward.
Oh my goodness. Here we go. I don't know if LinkedIn's going to block this, but nonetheless, I think that's very, very interesting indeed. Who has been an influential mentor for you, Chris? And who's had an influence on your professional journey? What lessons have stuck with you, my friend?
Yeah, I would say, you know what? I would say a lot of my previous managers, right? And really, and you know what it is, especially one of the managers I had a few years ago, she actually said, and I work with a lot of them still, right, as my own capacity. But what I've found is that the one of the managers said, Chris, take all of the best attributes of the managers you've worked with and compile the best things that you found and reflect that in yourself. And that was something that I really took from, because all of my previous managers had such great ambitions and great aspirations, and they taught me a lot when I was learning. And it was just the little things. I'm talking about little things. Like, for example, one of my managers would take us to coffee and we would explain each other's workloads and what we were doing for the week and all of that. Honestly,
I
it
love
was
that.
just
I love that.
because what happened was you stopped siloing yourselves because you started to talk about what you're working on and people could collaborate and share ideas and things. I took that from her because I was like, what a great thing to do every week, right? And it got the team out, it built rapport. I work with another one of my previous managers, and she showed me the power of innovation and outward thinking and all of those kind of things that was so good as well. So those, what I would say is just those series of managers. Like another one was a really big entrepreneur, and he encouraged me to set up my own business and little things like that. So those inspirational managers that I've had along the year, they definitely made an impact, and they are who I am today is an amalgamation of all of them.
If you are watching any of those managers, shout out to you, because I think that's great. It's like the good morning effect. Like, say good morning to your team, engage with them. Don't have this whole us and them mentality, because you don't want the siloed nature, and I've had that in previous workplaces, and it makes no sense. Like, it's toxic. It doesn't work. And if you're doing it and you're not saying good morning and you're not grabbing coffee with your team, you are really doing a disservice, not only to you, but the company as well. So to spend that $10 with your subordinate or colleague and see where it goes. See where it goes.
And can I add, like, what it takes is just getting out of the office and moving somewhere else. I find that some of the best ideas I've come up with are from those times, because what happens is when you get out of it and you go to a cafe and someone says, hey, I'm still stuck with this project, I'm not sure, the ideas flow and flow and flow and flow because you've got space and breathing time to really think about things. So if you are going, well, how do I innovate? How do I solve it? Get a few people together, go lift yourself out of the office, go somewhere else, grab a coffee, bring a notepad and just chat. You'll be surprised what comes out of people's heads that you never would have thought of before.
Very well said. Very well said. We got our last two questions before we get to our final question, one of me. If you could wave a magic wand and you could change anything in the world of marketing or branding, what would it be?
Attention spans. Attention spans. The reason why is because we're all getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and it's not that it's to an extent it's good because you have to be more succinct and more compelling, but at the same time it's people aren't taking the time to read and listen and take on board things, and it's everyone's wants instant gratification and all of that, and so as a result they're actually hurting themselves.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said. And what's one piece of advice you'd love to pass on to young professionals, young marketers, young entrepreneurs, either tuning in now or re-listening, my friend?
Yeah, I would say have a plan. And I don't mean don't write a 50-page document. But what I would do is sit down with, your thoughts, ChatGPT, friends, whoever it is, right? And I would say, what is my ideal goal in the next 1 year, 5 year, 10 years, right? And this, don't be complicated. All it could be is something like, in 10 years, I want to be on stage talking about X, Y, Z. In 5 years, I want to have a business that's doing X, Y, Z, whatever it is, right? Those kind of things, when you start with big rocks like that, it allows you to gain a little bit of clarity, because what can happen is and Cullen, you would know this, is you get overwhelmed, right? There's this huge overwhelm a lot of the times where you go, I could, right? And you just end up going, this is all too hard. You have a brain explosion and it stops. Whereas if you sit there and go, what matters most to me? What do I want to be known for? And what impact do I want to make? Then after those visions and things, then you put what's 3 tactics that I could do today, tomorrow, and the next day that can help me get there closer, and start small, and don't compare yourself to someone that's been that's what I did. And it was a bad thing. When I first started, it was my first year, and I was looking at people that have been in the industry for 15 years going, why don't I have that? It's just natural. It's human. Don't compare. You got your own road.
You got your own road. Move your feet to the beat of your own drum and try not to follow anyone else.
It's hard. It's hard.
Forge your own path. I love that. It is very hard. It's natural with human beings, right? And for yourself, Chris, one day when all is said and done, how would you like to be remembered, either professionally, personally, or both, my friend?
Personally, exactly how I am. Right, I am who I am, and I'm not going to change. This is me, so I'm happy with who I definitely am. Professionally, I would like to be able to be known for the person that has found the balance between the human and AI pairing that is going forward. And that's always going to change. It's not like it's going to be my theory forever, but I would like to, and that's what I'm working on at the moment, is trying to find where people have to act and behave and be to find that nice synergy, because the future's together, right? And so what it is how can we work with it to get the best results at it like intended, rather than go down those dark avenues.
Good point. Good point. And where are you hanging out the most? Where can people find you, Chris? Where can people get in touch, my friend?
Everywhere. So you'll find me at BNIs, you'll find me at Club of United Business, you'd see me at the local chambers. I go to Imagine Golf, which is fun as well. I'm that very out-facing person, so I'm everywhere. But I'm active on social media as well. I'm teaching classes at the Australian Marketing Institute. Once you see me, you'll see me a lot. And that's what marketing is today. It's not just sitting and doing some digital ads and hoping for the phone to ring. It's being present.
Being present, being omnipresent, omni-channel, and being authentically you.
Yep, bingo.
And you certainly are that, Chris. You certainly are that, my friend. You're a light. It's a pleasure to have you on, mon ami. We'll bring you back with some bonus questions very soon, mate. Thank you so much for coming on to Live with Cullen Haynes, episode 39, my friend.
Thank you, Cullen. Thank you, everyone.
See you, everyone. And if you are a legend and you'd like to be on the Live with Cullen Haynes show, or a lawyer and want to be on the Law Live show, or an accountant and wanted to be on the Ledger Legends, so we're booked up until I think May or June next year, but please get in touch we come out every Wednesday around about 12:15, or the drive home at 5:30, speaking to another winner in the industry. Thank you again for tuning in live, or if you're re-listening, you can get this wherever you get your podcasts. And again, this podcast is proudly sponsored and brought to you by Accounting, Home Loans and Legal Home Loans, Australia's only mortgage broking firm for both accountants and lawyers in Australia. And while you're at it, if you are wanting to grow on LinkedIn, wanting to grow your tribe, find them and make 7 figures on LinkedIn, be sure to grab my cheeky book, The Laws of LinkedIn, out November last year. But nonetheless, thank you so much. Be sure to follow Chris Melotti from Melotti Content Media and Christopher Melotti Consulting. He's an absolute legend, dear friend of mine. Bye for now, everyone. Take care. Hope all is well. Bringing you back for 2 bonus questions, Chris. How would you explain your role to a 6-year-old child when they ask, what does a marketing person do?
I would say, okay. So 5-year-old? Okay.
5-year-old, 6-year-old.
Yeah. I would say a business needs a customer, and I help the business talk to the customer so the customer cares.
Oh, I love that. Let's make them care, please. Shall we? Yeah. That's easy. I can understand that. My goodness.
Okay, good.
If you've had a pet, or you do have a pet, how would they describe you in 3 words?
Oh gosh. I've got a few around. How would they describe me? Hands-on.
That's good.
Because I love playing with them and taking them for walks. I would say very loving, right? I'm obsessed with my animals and dogs and cats, and I'd probably say ever present. You know, I'm always around, and they never get sick of me, so that's good.
Fantastic, my friend. Thank you so much again for being on here, and it's been a pleasure. And as I said, you're an absolute light, man, and it's great to have you as a friend, and great to see you doing what you're doing in the industry, mon ami.
Thank you so much, Cullen. It's been an honor.
Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Happy Wednesday. Hey there, Cullen Haynes here, Australia's leading broker for lawyers on LinkedIn, and here's why I want to talk to you today about my new book, The Laws of LinkedIn, 23 ways to find your tribe, build your following, and make 7 figures on LinkedIn. When I started this journey 7 years ago, when we built, myself and Andrew, my business partner, we built Legal Home Loans from the ground up, the pain point for us was we were at a standing start. No one knew who we were. We had no money, we had no contacts, and basically we had to find a way to make our voice heard, talk to our tribe, the legal community, and build trust. And the only thing we had at our disposal was LinkedIn, which was and still is free. There's over 1 billion people on LinkedIn, and I wish when I started I had this book with me to guide me, because I basically distilled my 23 top leading hacks that we use to build our business to a 7+ figure, and I really want to get it out there and share it with you. So if you're